taking a quick look at this Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee returned last weekend, UFC Fight Night prelims. Kevin Lee has been off, I think, for about 2 years. I was pretty excited to see him come back. I have a correction to make. Kevin Lee, he did fight. So he did get dropped, or he did get released from the UFC in 2021. In 2022, he did have a fight in Eagle FC. He fought against Diego Sanchez, where he won a 3-round decision. And this year, he's recently been re-signed back to the UFC, where he came back in this fight that we're talking about today. Unfortunately, it didn't go his way, but hopefully we see more of the Motown phenom. He's 30 years old on his return, and he's coming back against a guy, Fakhretdinov, I think I'm saying his name right, Russian, who I believe is on something like a 20-fight win streak. Kevin Lee hasn't had great showings in the last couple of fights he's had. He's been unhealthy for a few of his fights. He had Staph for a fight, I think, against Ferguson.
How frustrating was it for you going into that Tony Ferguson fight with that Staph infection? Because that was a serious fight. I didn't notice it at the weigh-ins, but then the moment you walked into the cage, it was funny, man, because they were telling DC, don't talk about it. Because I was going, that's Staph. That is fucking Staph. And then they said to DC, don't talk about it. He goes, yup, that looks like Staph to me. He just ignored him. He's like, fuck you. I'm telling him, that's Staph, man.
Yeah. But it frustrated things. It made things a lot more complicated. It made the weight cut terrible.
So now here he is against Rinat Fakhretdinov. Kevin Lee is 1 year younger than him, but Kevin Lee's been in the league since, I think he's been like 19. He has a lot of miles on him now. 5 minutes. So here, Fakhretdinov, he's nice striking, nice jabs. Comes with the overhand right. Kevin Lee is a little bit hesitant. He seems like a reach disadvantage, but Kevin Lee is just not aggressive. He's moving back a little bit, and he gets rocked right here at 425. Huge right hand, and Fakhretdinov takes the advantage and goes in for the deep guillotine with a high wrist. So he comes in with the high wrist, and he's got it in deep, high wrist, and he's grabbing with his other gloved hand.
Is he still conscious? I don't know. Checking if he's out. Fakhretdinov still squeezing away, and that is going to do it. Rinat Fakhretdinov.
This high-handed guillotine. Kevin Lee is confused. One more correction is Rinat Fakhretdinov hits Kevin Lee with a power guillotine. A little bit different than the high-risk guillotines.
And by the time he got back up to his feet, I had him in front, headlock position. Had his neck pretty tight, man. I honestly felt like I could have broken his neck at that time. But it choked him out, man. It was beautiful.
I'm a real fan of Kevin Lee. Hopefully he could come back from it, but he was rocked. He got rocked. It was a flash knockout, I think, and that allowed my man from Russia to snatch that neck really fast. So Kevin Lee, he's fighting with one hand. He's trying to wrestle, and he's also has his hand on the waist. So his hand is kind of stuck there. So by the time he gets put to sleep, there's no way for the ref to really tell, but he was able to see that he's not moving and was able to stop it. So shout out to Herb D and the ref for stopping that. Shout out to Kevin Lee. Hopefully he comes back from it. I mean, getting choked out is never good, but it's better than getting knocked out. So hopefully we see Kevin Lee again. By way of guillotine. I love those. I love guillotines. Rinat Gladiator Fakhretdinov. Russia's not playing around in the UFC.